Folks, welcome back. HeirofCarthage here in Total War Warhammer 3, and yes, once again, we're going to have some sweet Chaos Dwarf action. This time I'm playing against none other than Indypride from over at Milk and Cookies Total War. He makes fantastic videos. I would imagine you have probably seen them, but if you have not, make sure to follow the link in the description. I will link you to his channel. Really does a ton of work editing videos and really making beautiful content. So I highly recommend that you go give his channel a look if you have not, especially if you like some really nice, curated, lovely content. Like I said, he does a very good job of it. In any case, let's get on with the battle. He has chosen the Ogres, and he is letting them be led by none other than the Great Slob himself, Greasus Goldtooth. There's going to be a relatively slow-moving but rather tanky unit. I mean, anything that's sitting here eating a giant hawk of ham while jiggling his way into battle with treasure on the back, making his way around being pushed by laborers. I mean, you know that this is someone important. On the other hand, my army is going to be led by Zatan the Black. I decided to try him out as a caster lord here. He's on his Great Taurus, so this should be interesting to have a flying mount. So once again, dwarves, eat your heart out. No gyrocopter mounts for your lords. No cavalry for you. And the Chaos Dwarves get to have all the fun at your expense. So I brought the Magma Cannon. The Magma Cannon seems to be one of the better artillery units. I definitely wanted to have artillery because I figured the Ogres would probably at least have lead belchers. And I also see an Iron Blaster. I figured a scrap launcher was possible as well. The Chaos Dwarf infantry is relatively tightly packed and pretty high value targets. You see the lead belchers have been moved forward, and they're going to hurt me. If it was just the Iron Blaster, I could probably sit back and pound away with the Magma Cannon and trade shots, but you can see that those lead belchers are already doing some pretty good damage, about a quarter of the hit points on one of my dwarves. But check out the Magma Cannon. Not necessarily meant for this role, but still doing just fine. It's already killed 3 entities in the lead belcher and is causing some pretty significant damage to them as well. Now, in my army, I have a line of Chaos Dwarf infantry, just the standard variety, but I'm leading the way with some meat shields, and this is something that I like to do with the Chaos Dwarves. It helps absorb charges and basically keeps you from getting frontal assaulted by things and allows your real infantry to get into combat a little bit cleaner. So I use those meat shields to block most of the charges, and I'm going to bring Zatan the Black up the middle and get ready to potentially throw down here with... Did I say he was a sorcerer? I may have said that earlier, and I misspoke. If that's the case, my bad. Neither one of us is actually using magic in this game. It was something we kind of joked about after the battle started, so I guess both of us decided to go without magic here. I wasn't sure which magic would actually really help me do a ton of good against a lot of monstrous infantry, so that's why I went without it. Certainly not because I forgot it. I mean, I would never do such a thing. How dare you accuse me? No, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the performance of my Bull Centaur renders with great weapons. Those are going to be one of my main anti-large tools here, though this one over here already took a lot of damage between the artillery and those iron guts and the lead belchers. But yeah, they're not doing great. I'm going to have to move them on to a different position, and I went ahead and took my Bull Centaur Tarek here up the middle to try and attack that Iron Blaster and get sick of it shooting me, but some Iron Fist are going to intercept me. You can see that up front, my Chaos Dwarf infantry did decent to hold. A lot of the meat shields are running away, but the Dwarf infantry has been a lot more reliable. My Magma Cannon's going to keep firing. In fact, I got one of my warriors back behind the lines here to pressure the lead belchers along with Zatan the Black. And then you can see this Bull Centaur render with great weapon just absolutely shredded that Iron Fist. They don't have the armor piercing. And so these are going to be very capable units in the anti-large role, and really they're going to be a mainstay for the Chaos Dwarves in an anti-large role, because you certainly can use blunderbusses and you can use fireglaves, but they are very expensive, and so you're not going to get a lot of them. Now these units are expensive too, at I believe around 1450 gold, unless they change it. So right here, check that out. I got charged on the hoof here and slowed down by the Iron Guts, so not a great situation for me. And then over here, I'm trying to pin down some of the Ogres and let some of my units come in to reinforce here, make sure to keep my lords safe. And I'm going to keep working these lead belchers. I don't want the lead belchers to be doing damage to me late into the game. So you can see the Magma Cannon, and I might accidentally call the Magma Cannon the Plasma Cannon. I don't know why I keep doing that, but I do. So in any case, I'm trying to drive the lead belchers out. I did bring some Wolf Riders earlier too, these Hobgoblin Wolf Riders. I figured a fair number of Ogre units are kind of low armor, and so I was hoping that these guys would be able to do some decent damage, and they really have. They've been handy at charging the what do you call them, the Nobbler units from the Ogres, and that's been useful, and then just the range fire has also been useful. You can see Zatan here attacking these Nobbler trappers. I'm trying to get them out of here before they throw their knives at me. Both the Lead Belchers are in trouble at the moment, but it's still a pretty even fight. And I've still got to kill Greasus, and Greasus is just absolutely tanking over here. I just don't have the right units to attack him at the moment. My Bull Centaur Renders could certainly get some work done, but they are busy elsewhere, as you can see, trying to fend off Iron Guts. In fact, I'm going to try and charge these wolves in just to put a little something extra over here. The Iron Guts are really ripping into my Centaur Great Weapons, and I don't want them to get utterly annihilated. I need a lot of work out of them still. You can see this Nobbler Trapper. I was worried about it throwing knives into that fight, so I charged it with my wolves. So again, the Hobgoblin Wolf Riders, although cheap, can certainly be useful in the right situations. Check out Zatan the Black here chasing the Iron Blaster, and then my Taruk is getting overpowered here by Greasus and these Iron Guts, so it's in rough condition here. Nice debuffs there coming in from Greasus. And then again, some of the artillery units regrouping in the back. I'm continually trying to pull routing units back into the fight and kind of focus things. I'm going to bring these wolves in here to try and give my Centaur Taruk a chance to get out of that fight. He just took a massive hit from Greasus right there. You just saw a whole bunch of life drain out of him. And I'm going to bring the rest of my Wolf Riders, and I've got my Bull Centaur Renders, and I was thinking, hey, I'll just charge the Renders in here. I got all that infantry support. Surely they'll come in here and rip up Greasus with all that anti-large goodness. So I was feeling pretty confident at this point, and I go ahead and charge them in, thinking that I'm going to get some really solid results here. And we'll see how it goes. I've got some good infantry units. I've got Greasus surrounded. There's only a few Iron Guts left. So again, I was feeling pretty hopeful here. Now, on the other hand, my Lord is taking some damage. My Centaur Taruk took some damage, so he's kind of a little worse for wear. And then I've got my other Bull Centaur Renders over here that are almost dead, and I'm going to be pulling back in infantry units here as I am able to get back into the fight as they've been previously routed. And you can see here the Renders get some damage done against Greasus, but Greasus is dishing just as much pain back to them. So I was like, all right, let's pile on with Zatan. He's got some decent damage, but you can see he's getting debuffed rather majorly here by Greasus with that everyone has their price. So that's definitely hurting me. It's taking the leadership down, and Zatan is getting shredded here too. So I am really struggling to get rid of that enormous gut that Greasus has. Meanwhile, I kind of just keep chasing the Iron Blaster. It just keeps running away from me because I don't have the mass to stop it. In a rather hilarious fashion, I might add, that Rhinox pulling it around all over the place. So I just can't stop it, and it's going to keep trying to shoot, probably shooting at my Lord and other key units like the Bull Centaur Renders. Yeah, that was a point-blank shot, killed one of my Renders there. So this is not good for me because I really need everything that I can potentially get. You can see the Lead Belchers firing here too, so I'm getting into dangerous territory here in terms of being able to keep my Lord and my Taruk and my other units alive. I'm taking a lot of damage, and then I'm going to get charged by Iron Guts over here again. Not what I want, and Greasus is not giving up on these Bull Centaur Renders either. So he is slowly wheeled over where he's going to start swinging his ham hock and his mace there and going for some damage, and he is going to get some done. So not a great position for me. It's getting close here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to try and pull this victory out, though I do have some units that have come back from routing. I can attempt to try and just pile in here and overwhelm Greasus. That's kind of one of the only options I have left. Now, he's not going to be great against all these warriors. My warriors are not going to be great against him, but they might be able to help wear him down a little. And you can see them chipping little chunks out of his gigantic hit point gut here. So Greasus looks absolutely awesome. I decided to try and take out these Iron Guts before they could get back in the fight. And that's assuming they don't take me out, because this is a pretty close fight. I managed to get lucky there. They get terrified. So fortunately for me, they're out. The Iron Blaster, though, is aiming at me, and at this point I'm just like screaming, no, please, don't kill my Lord. It was a pretty close shot. I took some damage, and Zatan the Black is hanging on by a thread. All my infantry units are coming back in to try and pick away at Greasus, and folks, we're gonna have a photo finish here, no doubt. The Iron Blaster actually has some decent weapon strength against infantry afterwards. Plus, it's got, good mass. And I love how Indy's just continually rolling it around, like not giving up on it. And then look at me, I ran out of ammunition with the magma cannon. And very, very slowly, it's making its way over here to try and get into the fight. So I think it's hilarious. It's like slow motion unit coming in here. But it did a great job for me in this fight. So I've now got basically everything in here, just pummeling away at Greasus, pummeling away at the Iron Blaster. Some of my units are wavering. Greasus is taking a lot of damage. The Hell Blaster is taking shots at me, and it is very close right now. Some of my units begin to rout. That's not great. Like I said, just this one could flip either way. It's in my favor at the moment, but like if one of my units routs, it could get ugly. Fortunately for me, there goes the Iron Blaster, and then Greasus goes too. It was close, folks. It was definitely a close finish and an awesome battle with Indypride. I had a couple of fun battles with him. I got to play one against the Chaos Dwarves in Domination. He may show that one. I was playing Slaanesh, and it was interesting, to say the least. The Chaos Dwarves were definitely an opponent to be reckoned with, at least for me. I'm not great at the Domination game mode, but Indy did a great job. And if he shows that one, make sure y'all go check it out. We also got to play another battle, and in that battle, I believe I also played the Chaos Dwarves with Astrogoth, Iron Hand, and got to play against, oh dang, I can't remember the faction that we played against. Anyway, some fun battles, but a good time, and appreciate him coming in and playing here with me. Like I said, make sure you go check out his channel. Let's take a look at the key units here. Greasus did some pretty good damage there at 1894 in terms of value. A decent number of kills, and a pretty good amount of like raw damage. Not a ton of value out of the lead belchers, but again, quite a bit of raw damage. And if we look at some of these iron guts, this one right here, that iron gut definitely got a ton of damage done, and a good number of kills. Again, not a huge value. This one got some value though. I think this is one of the ones that was shredding into my renders or my Tarek. So it definitely got some. And then he and I were both laughing at this Ogre Iron Fist here that got 99 gold value and 0 kills. So apparently they're going to get fired by Greasus tomorrow for performance-related issues. And then the Iron Blaster, not great considering the cost of it, but at the same time, like, he put a lot of effort into that Iron Blaster, and if he had not, it would have been a whole lot lower. So I think kudos to him there with the Iron Blaster. So like, for instance, I put a whole lot less effort into the magma cannon, and it picked me up quite a bit more value and damage dealt. The Wolf Riders here, surprisingly valuable. These are only a 650 gold unit, so they did really well for me in this battle. And then look at this, like a 150 gold unit picking up 456 value. I mean, so I'll take that all day from these laborers, though I had this one here that obviously got the two of them that we got the performance we expect out of Goblin laborers. Infantry-wise, no one doing amazing, but, just needed them to hold their ground. This one Bull Centaur render did well. The other one kind of got pooped on. The Tarek got pooped on, and Zatan didn't do a ton for me here either. But anyway, great game to Indypride. Hope y'all enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon with some more content in Total War Warhammer 3.